Hello, everyone. Welcome to History with Hersafat. I'm your host, Chris, aka Hersafat. Today, I'll be speaking with a couple of friends, Brad and Nick, about the year 2004. The views shared on this podcast come from ordinary people who've lived through these events. My hope is that it'll give a unique perspective on history. How is everyone this afternoon? How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, okay.
Moderately decent.
Moderately decent. Can't ask for
Yeah.
much more. I mean, you could, but don't get greedy.
I could, but yeah, I'm not trying to double my money here.
Just be happy with what you got. All right.
It's good advice.
Future
It's good advice.
podcast 2005 next week, next Saturday, and the year 2006 following. That will be what's coming up. We'll get right into it today. On January 3rd, Britney Spears marries Jason Allen Alexander, a childhood friend in Las Vegas. The marriage is annulled 55 hours later. And I saw that she married the guy's name was Jason Alexander. I laughed because I was
Right. Like George from Seinfeld.
George
It's
just
just like, can't stand
short,
you.
I mean, that
short
sounds
stocky bald man.
right. And I live with my parents, and then he marries a
Yeah.
pop star, right, in Vegas.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not the guy who released that album. Remember? Wasn't it?
No,
Oh,
it wasn't. But we may see
know who
him
I'm
later
talking
in the
about?
year.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
The fact that the marriage is annulled 55 hours later sounds like an episode of Seinfeld. It sounds like a two-parter, like something like, George gets married in Vegas and then he ends up getting divorced because the whole thing falls apart. Right. That
Right.
sounds
Yeah.
like I just thought that was funny. On January 15th, the rapper Mystical, the guy who's shake your ass, that guy,
Classic.
Oh.
oh
okay,
yeah, is sentenced to 6 years in prison for sexual battery.
Oh, that's
Not that that's funny.
That's not
that
funny
I'm
at
laughing at
all.
that.
The sexual battery isn't funny. It's the fact that he made that stupid song
Yeah,
and then
shake
was
your
put
ass.
away for that.
Yeah. Well,
It was-
Crimes
They should have seen
against
this-
music
They should have seen this coming.
and humanity. What?
and humanity.
I was just like, just like I was laughing because I said, like shake your ass, and I was like, it's the Mystical. Oh yeah, I remember that song, and then I finished it. Is sentenced to 6
Right,
years.
yeah.
That shows you that's right. All right. January 19th, the Dean Scream, also known as I Have a Scream, was a speech delivered by Vermont Governor Howard Dean at the Val Air Ballroom in West Des Moines, Iowa. That night,
Oh,
the
no.
presidential candidate had just lost the Iowa caucus to John Kerry and wanted to reassure his supporters. He listed states he would win to a raucous audience before screaming, "Yeah!" And I remember that.
Yeah.
He's all
I remember
excited.
that too.
He's going. He's like, yeah, we're gonna take, South Carolina. We're gonna, yeah. And everyone's like, oh
Yeah.
God. Oh.
He goes, and then we're gonna take it to. Then we're gonna go to the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everyone's
I
like,
vaguely remember that.
Slowly stops clapping and looks around. Everyone feels dirty. That was weird. It's
Yeah.
amazing what could get you canceled or, knock you off your presidential hopes and dreams back in 2004.
right.
That reminds me of
Yeah.
Jeb Bush with the please clap.
Yeah.
He's all
yeah.
defeated and sad.
Sad
Poor
Jeb.
guy.
I love that
Jeb
video.
is a disgrace.
Jeb is a
Yeah.
mess.
God. Oh man.
Jeb is a big fat mistake.
That's so stupid. On February 1st, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake perform on stage at Super Bowl 38. The performance concludes with Jackson's right breast being exposed to the audience. There was a pasty on it, so not completely. The phrase wardrobe malfunction is coined during the ensuing controversy. I remember that.
Mhm.
I watched that
Oh, yeah.
game. I thought nothing of it. I remember saying, being like, something was weird there at the end, but I don't really care. I'm glad that the halftime show is over so we can get back to the
Right.
actual fucking football game.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things with like any sport. Like, hockey's my favorite sport. But I cannot stand like the pre-game like hype up show. I can't stand it. I can't like it, or like in Sunday Night Football, what's her name? Carrie Underwood sings that, it's time for Sunday night. and I
Oh my
hate it.
God.
Just get to the game.
So stupid.
Yes, it is time for Sunday night.
I'm
Play the fucking game.
yeah, I'm right up there with you, man. I think that they should go as far as just skip the national anthem stuff
Oh
altogether
God,
too.
honest,
Just get
definitely.
into the
honestly,
game.
just get into the game.
Just be like,
Um,
hey, look, the game starts in 2 minutes, so
That's the
that's when it's
draw.
gonna start.
Right.
Yeah,
This
starting the timer.
Right.
this past
Exactly.
Super Bowl, it started at like noon, the pregame for like 6 hours, like all this huge
Good
hype, all this
God.
building up, everything. And then they kick the ball off, the guy catches it, then he gets tackled. I'm just like, it's just a fucking football game. That's all this build up just to a
Just for something you
game.
see every Sunday or
Yeah,
Thursday,
exactly.
yeah, or Monday,
It's just,
right? It's and of all the things, I'm here to watch that football game. I don't give a shit about like everything that they do beforehand or after.
Mhm.
I'm typically like, all right, that's it. And I've watched what I came here for, and now I'm leaving.
See, I also don't care about the football games, so why
That's
the hell
true.
was I even watching it in the first
That's
place?
a good
I
question.
don't even know.
That's a good question. You'll have to think about
Yeah.
that, Brad.
I will think
yeah.
about it.
On February 4th of 2004, Mark Zuckerberg launches the Facebook, later renamed to Facebook thanks to Justin Timberlake, a social networking website for Harvard University students. So Facebook is started for college kids, well, just at Harvard. I remember hearing about it, and it was like my friends who were in college. I think at one point it branched out from Harvard to just other college kids, but only college kids. And so I remember I wasn't in college, and my friends who were like, "Yeah, on Facebook, you can't get it unless you're in college." I was like,
Right.
"Oh, well, fuck that place then. Fuck that website. I don't, fuck them. I'm not gonna bother with it." So, of course, a couple years later, it became available for everyone, and they're like, "You gotta check it out. Get on Facebook." So I do, and I remember my first post was something along the lines like, "I won't be on this very much. Fuck this place," or something like, "I'd rather have MySpace," and that was it. That was my post, and then it ended up, I used it more for like there was a couple year period there where I was, pretty active on it, and then for like the last 10 years, I just don't even really do much on Facebook. Don't. It's a post every 4 months, and now I'm not even on it at all. So,
Mhm.
it's not bad. It's pretty good. I kind of recommend it. Thoughts on Facebook? Your first Facebook memories? Anything that comes to
Yeah.
mind, Nick?
I didn't start Facebook till maybe 2 years after it came out or something like that.
Mhm.
I think 2006, something like that. Yeah. I don't really remember anything about my first Facebook experience. What I do remember is getting it, but still liking MySpace more.
Yeah.
And just because I was so accustomed to it at the
Right.
point, I'd been using it for over a year, and yeah, gradually made the change to Facebook. I think I remember, pretty much when everyone else did. People started, all
Right.
my friends started not using MySpace anymore. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I'll just use Facebook, I guess.
Brad?
Oh, I think I got Facebook in 2007 or so.
Mhm.
If I recall, I could have sworn I already had friend requests when I first signed up for it. I don't know how that worked. Like classmates and
Yeah.
stuff. It was just
Right.
like my name or something or my location. I don't know. That
Hmm.
was weird. But yeah, I did not like it because it looked just so clinical. There's no
Mhm.
customization really.
Right.
But
Mhm.
I don't know. I went along with it because everyone else was, and
Mhm. You remember the
I
poking?
can. Oh,
People poke you?
yeah. I poked some people.
You poke people?
Yeah,
Hell yeah, I remember the
yeah.
poke. Yeah.
I've
I
never
got poked
anyone.
myself a few times.
Hello. Oh,
Mm-hmm. But
it's a kid show. Go on.
But I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Yeah, there was that. Everyone else was on it, and I think, like I said previously, everyone's parents and grandparents, and cousins, the whole family is on Facebook, and I
Right.
consider Facebook a big evil in this world. Most of social media,
Right.
Right.
it's very, very bad for
You know,
us.
it's a social media I've actually never really used. I do have an account, but I've never used it as Twitter.
Oh,
No, neither
God.
have I.
It's never really appealed to me. I've never really cared to use it.
I
sound like an old man, but that's true.
Right. I remember when Twitter first came about, and I checked it out and I realized that, wait a second, this is just like 140 characters.
Right.
And everyone was just saying, I'm having like a chicken pot pie tonight with some mashed potatoes
Who
and green
gives a
beans.
shit?
I was like, I don't fucking care. You know,
Yeah.
going
That's
to
Facebook
Yeah.
too, really.
Right,
You
and
know,
then-
it's
but-
all it's all just narcissistic stuff.
Right.
It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
And now the kids are doing TikTok and
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
just little. Yeah, I don't know.
When
Just save me
but-
from all of it.
celebrities really came out and endorsed Twitter, I think that's when it really took off, when celebrities came out and endorsed it. And not only that, like
Right.
they used it, like it was a way to get past the middleman, where they would talk, it would go to
Mhm.
like their publicist, and then it would be in a magazine and it was edited. This is just straight from them, what they say.
Right,
And
yeah.
you know, that's like, oh, this is a big deal. And you feel like
It
you
even
get-
went as far as to the president as well.
right.
Now the
right,
president's
Mhm.
fucking using it.
right. Yep.
It's so ridiculous.
Some presidents get banned on Facebook. Some of them do. Yeah. But on the whole, Facebook, I mean, if you think about it, it could be like these social networks could be something useful, I think. And they have been useful in a few instances, I'd say.
in a
but-
certain way. Absolutely. Yeah.
The way that we
Yeah.
use it as a society is incredibly detrimental, and it ruining our social skills. And now things are based on likes, you know, hearts and comments and stuff like that, and it's not really a conversation. It's not a real thing. I would always get bugged. Did you see that picture I posted? Why didn't you like it? I mean, I like it. Do I have to click on it? Let's just verify. I just tell you I like it. How about that? You know, no, you need
Yeah.
to not just tell me, you need to show everyone else that you like it so that other people know that I'm worthy of something because you've liked my photo. It just seems
And-
bad for you.
Well, yeah, and none of it's even real anyway.
Right.
It's,
know.
it's yeah.
It's just text on a screen. L-
Right.
Let's not forget thoughts and prayers.
Oh God.
Oh, how
You can take your
forget?
thoughts and prayers and just put them in a garbage dump.
Yeah. That's where you got them anyway. Just put
Fucking
them back.
garbage.
Yeah.
Just put them back.
Right.
It's like, look at me. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
these people. Look at me. I'm
my
so
God,
yeah.
virtuous.
Yeah.
So-
Man, I'm getting pissed
Oh.
off now. We
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
change topics.
We'll move on here in a second, but you just gave me like the thoughts and prayers. Like I've never, like, people saying like, I'll pray for you. I get where they're coming from based on
Right.
their beliefs. Not that I agree with it, not that I think that it's actually doing anything, but the
Mhm.
thoughts, you're in my thoughts. Okay. So if I just think about you, it'll get better. Like, don't worry, I'm thinking about it. You know, something's gonna
Yeah.
get better. But that doesn't change a damn thing. It's the same
Right.
amount of effort as praying is. You know, you're just patting yourself on the back for a job not done. And the
Mhm.
actual hard work
Right.
is you know, going through it and not, you know, thinking about it,
Right.
acting on it is what matters. All right, we'll move on.
Is it-
Um,
Well, hold on. Now, is it just better to say nothing at all, or to say something else?
well,
or-
Hmm.
well, I mean, that depends on the person, the situation, and all that. I think, like, if it depending
Because I
on
figured
what's
anyone
going on.
listening would probably be like, "Well, what do you say then?" You know.
Sure. Like I said, yeah, if it depends on if you don't have anything to say. I mean, that's really beneficial.
Just don't say anything.
Just don't say anything. You know, maybe,
Yeah.
you know, give them a hug. You know,
Right.
do something
Yeah.
like that. Do
Yeah, try to
something
go
that
out and
has
help
some-
them.
words.
Right.
You know, only go so far. And
Right.
you know, I'm thinking of you. Is they're trying to, and I don't doubt their sincerity. I don't doubt that they actually care.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just the way of expressing it, maybe actually showing that you care is
Mhm.
it's hollow. I feel for me, it's always been hollow.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
do something. You know,
Yeah.
that's my suggestion.
Actions are louder than words in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
On March 29th, Bulgaria, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania, Slovakia, and Slovenia are admitted to NATO, the largest expansion of the organization. And I imagine that probably pissed off Russia. So that might have something
Yeah.
to do with their attacks on Ukraine or their justifications for it. The expansion of NATO, on March 29th. On May 10th, Blender Magazine's May issue includes a 50 worst songs ever list. Can you guys guess which the number one song was?
Macarena.
Macarena. Brad says Macarena. Nick, do you have any guesses?
2004 worst song.
Not of 2004, but just altogether 50 worst
Just
songs
worst.
ever.
Oh,
Eh.
worst songs ever. Man. No, I don't have one. I can't think of one.
We
immediately
Built
off the
This
top of my head.
City by Jefferson
Oh, God.
Starship is rated worst.
That is a bad song, but it's fun.
God, I'll never forget watching the music video with you, Chris.
Oh,
and
that music video
everything
is
was
wild.
Everything was falling apart. The city was falling apart, like around them as they were running, and like, and it's like, we built this city, and Chris is like, yeah, not very well.
The statue of
just
Abe
thought that was the
Lincoln comes
funniest
to
thing.
life in it. He jumps up out of his seat.
That's why they're rock stars and not construction workers. You know, they
Yeah,
can't
so-
build the fucking city.
Right, but wasn't it was Jefferson Starship, right?
But yeah, Jefferson. It was Jefferson.
they-
What was
Jefferson
it? Airplane. Airplane. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think they're just called Starship now.
Yeah, they dropped the
Starship, yeah.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Jefferson
Yeah.
quit.
I forgot.
or
It's we
something,
built
right.
this city on rock and roll, and that's what happened.
Right.
You know, if you build a city on
Yeah.
rock and roll, apparently it crumbles. So just don't do that.
Right, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if that's the rock
Probably
and
need
roll
a
you're
better
building it with,
foundation.
well, just get better
Yeah.
rock and roll because that rock
Well,
and
the
roll is
rocks,
shit.
the rocks
Yeah.
are rolling. Like it's not going to be
I guess that's
structurally
true.
good.
Yeah.
Oh God. So yes, worst
Need more
song
level rocks.
indeed. On May 25th, the first episode of the web series Angry Video Game Nerd premieres. You guys have a favorite episode of Angry Video Game Nerd? Because I just
my
watched
God.
his
Bester's
big rig
Quest.
once. Bester's Quest. Oh God. Oh God.
I mean, his very first
Best.
episode, I think it was like Simon's Quest, Castlevania.
Was it
It just-
okay?
It just shows the screen and he just goes, "This game sucks." Like, yeah, I like this guy. But yeah, I don't really have a favorite. Man, I used to. Yeah, I've seen.
I've seen
tons
so
of
many
his
of them, right?
stuff.
Yeah. The Ninja Turtles one for the Nintendo, it just makes me laugh. And the Big Rigs one was pretty funny because I watched that
Mhm.
one as well. But I probably have to say the Ninja Turtles one. And the Simon's Quest is really funny because at one point he has like, you have to kneel down, select these 2 items, and wait for like 3 minutes for this tornado to come take you away. He's like, who the fuck would
yeah.
ever think of that? There's no doesn't make any
So-
sense. And why does it take when it goes to nighttime? The text is so slow. It's like, oh no, nighttime has appeared again.
Sounds like Elden Ring.
Right? They don't stop the game to let you know it's nighttime. You just kind of see it. Yes. Angry Video Game Nerd, very good. Cracks me up.
Mhm.
On June 4th, I mean, this is really sad. On June 4th of 2004, Creed breaks up. Then on June 5th,
Wow.
Ronald Reagan, the 40th president of the United States, dies as a result.
They had a double
As a
whammy.
result of Creed breaking up.
That may not be true there at the end, but
I don't
he
know.
definitely did die on June 5th.
There may be a correlation there.
That's what I said. That's what I think.
Oh my God.
Ronald Reagan. I think when we get to the 80s, we'll talk all about Reagan, but good Lord.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
Lord. Reaganomics do not work. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say
Right.
at the
They
moment.
don't.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? You think
Wow.
all this time, it would seem like it was doing a good job.
I feel like it's gonna trickle down right on top of me any second now.
Gonna be
Big bag of
showered
money.
with money, right? Golden money.
It's just building up above
Any
me.
minute now.
Any On June 10th, Ray Charles dies from acute liver disease.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think the movie Ray maybe came out the next year, 2005, with Jamie Foxx. But yeah, Ray Charles. Actually, I didn't listen to too much Ray Charles until after he died, of course. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. And there's a number of songs that I really liked.
Incredible
Um,
stuff.
oh, yeah.
Incredible stuff.
On June 28th, the U.S.-led coalition occupying Iraq, the Coalition Provisional Authority, the CPA, transfers sovereignty to the Iraqi interim government. So we handed over the authority over to the Iraqi government so they can do their own, democracy, which still stands to this day. So one of the few good things that came out of the war in Iraq. they still have that holding up, so that's good.
Yeah.
On July 1st, Marlon Brando kicks the bucket. So
That's so rough.
yeah.
He's so great.
He helped popularize method acting. Brando was nominated for Best Actor 8 times, winning twice, once for On the Waterfront and the other for The Godfather, which he refused to accept and sent a Native American lady to go pick it up. And she was like harassed at the Oscars and stuff like that. He was also the recipient of the most prestigious award, a Razzie, for Worst Supporting Actor in the movie The Island of Dr. Monroe. Or Monroe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the last award he
Polar
won.
loves that movie.
Does he?
That's
It's
one
a
of
shame
his
he's not here.
favorite movies.
That
I know.
That's a favorite. That's a favorite.
He loves that movie. Yeah.
Interesting. Favorite Marlon Brando film, if you have one, or maybe a moment.
Apocalypse Now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Definitely. He's incredible in that movie.
I have no idea.
I mean, The Godfather was good. I liked him as Jor-El, Superman's dad.
Oh yeah, and Krypton.
Yep.
The planet of Krypton.
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 No, he pronounced it Krypton.
He pronounced it Krypton.
It's kind of like how
Krypton.
Brad the other episode. I don't remember what episode it was. Brad mentioned he said Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
2001.
My favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. Watch that for Superman again. Yeah,
I'll watch it. Yeah, I just remember
how he pronounces it.
Krypton. I was notorious for not memorizing lines, just making shit up and just doing what he wanted. I'm pretty sure him and Richard Pryor had a relationship. It came out later that Richard Pryor and him were lovers at some point. So that's interesting.
Really, I had no idea.
I thought you were joking.
No, Richard Pryor and Marlon. Yeah, Marlon Brando. Yeah, just. I mean, obviously, because it was the 70s,
right?
You didn't really hear much about, but yeah, it came out later.
Yeah,
everyone knew about it. Everyone kept quiet though. So yeah, we'll move on there. On August 8th, 2004, Dave Matthews Band's tour bus dumps 800 pounds of human feces from a Chicago bridge, intending to unload it in the river because no one will notice that. They won't. But it lands on an architecture tour boat. The bus driver and the band are sued by the state of Illinois. Did you imagine that?
Oh no!
You're on an architecture tour boat. This is the Willis Tower or Sears Tower at that point. This is the Sears Tower. And if you look up, that's the bridge. Oh my God, what the fuck? It's just like raining shit. Is this part of the architecture tour? What the hell is under that bridge, you know? Yeah, and the fact that they were just going to dump
Chicago.
it. Yeah, they're going to dump it into the Chicago River, and they knew no one would notice because no one would. And there's that old joke that they dye the Chicago River green every year for St. Patty's Day, and they do such a good job it stays that way year round. And so yeah, that is very true. That is a polluted river. It's the New York River, like the New York City River, you know, the one like another Seinfeld reference where Kramer goes swimming in the water and it's just completely disgusting water. Yeah. And it makes like everything smell. That's the Chicago River as well. On September 18th, Britney Spears marries Kevin Federline.
There it is.
So
that's who I was thinking of.
Let's see here. What was that date? January 3rd, she marries. She divorces 55 hours later. And then September 18th, she's married again to K-Fed, who had Popo Zao. Fantastic song. I remember that. No, yeah, it's not. I remember one time I said I bought Kevin Federline's album, his vinyl online on Amazon. I can't wait, or something like that. And Brad responded with something about it, like summoning demons and shit like that. If you play it, I was like, I said, like, I don't remember that in the liner notes or whatever, but okay, yeah, I guess it could happen. Yeah. Yeah, Britney Spears marries Kevin Federline. October 3rd, Rodney Dangerfield takes a long dirt nap. I got a couple, you know,
never wakes up.
Rodney Dangerfield, rapping Rodney in the 80s. I believe when he made it, he was so much older. He was like 60 years old when he actually got his big break. He was like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he was old.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. But he helped develop and show off like a number of amazing comedians. Like he is the reason He's like a number
Oh,
of
yeah,
like
he's
you know
great.
like a number of comedians love Johnny Carson because he gave them their
Sure.
big break. Rodney Dangerfield was like their version of Johnny Carson. Like
Right.
Bill
right.
Hicks is really known because of Rodney Dangerfield, as he gave him the spot and really liked Bill. So
Right.
Rodney Dangerfield on The Simpsons, where he's Mr. Burns' son, is really great. I just love that line where he's like, "This party's," what does he say? "If this party gets any livelier, funeral's gonna break out," stuff like that. God, yeah. Just a king of one-liners. Don't get no respect.
Was he the guy? Was he the
Uh,
guy that had the joke "Take my wife, please"?
Maybe
I think that one.
he had a lot of people like. He's like, guy I come home from wife. We just won the lottery. I tell my wife, hey, we just won the lottery. Pack your bags. And she says, where are you going? I said, I don't care. Get out of here. I'm going anywhere. You're not coming with. That's his joke. Yeah. So like, I like my steak like I like, my steak and my sex are the same way, both rare. Just like that sort of thing. Hey, I don't get no respect. Yeah. So that's
yeah,
That's a good impression.
thank you.
yeah, it's not bad.
I got some quotes of his up right now, but I can't deliver them like that.
Well, just do them as if you were Brad. Brad. Do them.
That'd be tough. That's gonna be tough too.
Just say it. What is the line? Just read it like a robot. I'm sure
Well,
that'll work just as well.
Well, I had a good one here, now I lost it.
Oh.
I told my psychiatrist that everyone hates me. He said I was being ridiculous. Everyone hasn't met me yet. I haven't spoken to my wife in years. I didn't want to interrupt her.
Yes, Rodney Dangerfield. What a comedian. On October 10th, Christopher Reeves bites the dust. So yeah, I remember after he fell off a horse and was paralyzed, the first person to make him laugh, the story is that Robin Williams came in to the hospital room dressed as a doctor and said he was going to perform like a surgery on him. But Christopher Reeves and Robin Williams were roommates at what's it called? It's the acting school in New York.
Juilliard?
Juilliard, yeah. And for all accounts, just a really good guy. Just a tragedy. But he actually starred in like a movie. It was basically like was that Rear Window, the Hitchcock film with James Stewart. He basically did something like that, but made for TV. I mean, because that's really all he could do. He's in a wheelchair. How many movies that deal with a guy in a wheelchair? Well, I'll just do that one.
Perfect.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, he had it all. Definitely method acting. On October 23rd, Ashley Simpson is accused of lip syncing after a, let's say, shaky live performance on the television show SNL, Saturday Night Live. I remember that.
That was that long
I
ago.
do remember that,
I
yeah.
remember that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was like the Milli Vanilli of our generation.
Right.
She was like,
yeah.
she's dancing around.
The
Yeah, she
wrong
danced
song
around.
played
playing,
in the end.
right.
And she did a little jig, and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like, I can't remember what song it was playing. I don't remember the names of her songs. They're not important, but yeah, I just I think Jude Law hosted that night, and it was just awkward. And the fact that caused a stir. I mean, what do you expect? It's Ashley Simpson. You think she's actually doing any of this shit? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, and she blamed her band too. Like, get the fuck. Like, my band started playing the wrong song, and like they're all looking at her like, fuck this bitch. Like I would quit. Like, really? You're not gonna come clean and just say, well, we fucked up. It was a CD or was whatever the hell we were using. The audio
Right.
recording just, was the wrong one. I don't know. But no, you blame the band. The people who actually probably play the instruments. Yeah. So on November 2nd, 2004, the U.S. presidential election, George W. Bush is reelected president of the United States, defeating his Democratic challenger, John Kerry. Oh, John Kerry.
Man, it's too bad.
Right. John Kerry was in good shape. No one was happy with the war in Iraq. No one was happy with a number of things George Bush was doing in the administration. The mishandling of one thing after another. Complete ineptitude at just on a staggering level that we thought we'd never see anything worse.
Right.
John Kerry comes in, and his big thing is that, despite George Bush's, war hawkishness, John Kerry had actually been to war. He was actually in the army. He was actually
prisoner
decorated.
of war as well.
Exactly. And
I mean, this guy,
he
yeah,
was
was a
the
legend.
poster boy. And what did they do?
Yeah,
They went after that and they made him look like he wasn't. And there was a commercial that
Yep.
came out with these like 4 or 5 people that were apparently in John Kerry's, unit, that said that he was lying, that he wasn't really this and that, and that he wasn't really telling the truth. And it convinced enough people that he wasn't really telling the honest truth, and was the big reason why George Bush won again. It took John
Yep.
Kerry's strongest point and made it into nothing. And so it's incredibly difficult to unseat an incumbent president. It just is. The person coming in to try and do that almost never wins. And this is another instance of that. The next time a president would only do 4 years and just get booted out would be Trump in 2020.
Trump.
Yeah.
Yep.
And before that, it was George H.W. Bush when Clinton took him out in
Right.
1992.
Yep.
All right. On December 8th, Dimebag Darrell is murdered on stage while performing in Columbus,
man.
Ohio by a deranged fan who shoots
That
the
was that
guitarist.
long ago. Wow.
Shoots the guitarist 3 times in the head with a 9mm Beretta handgun. The gunman kills 3 other people and wounds a further 3 before being shot dead by police. And that was because, if I'm not mistaken, Dimebag was leaving to join some other band or caused the breakup of Pantera, or he thought so. Brad, would you have more information?
I had heard the Dimebag stole riffs from the guy that shot him or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, metal guitarists. Their riffs are their livelihood.
Right. I guess.
At least that's what I heard. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just don't know. But man, yeah,
Yes.
excellent guitar player.
Oh, for sure.
If it was from, if the reason was to keep them from breaking up, to shoot him, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
No, that's the exact opposite.
Right? Yeah. It's like, oh, how could you? And then
Right.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard a number of different things. Like, yeah, I think at that time, were they still Pantera or they were something else? That he shot Dimebag Darrell and his brother.
They were. It was a Damage Plan.
Yeah, their Damage Plan, and so he went and shot. That was I thought that I heard that he shot Dimebag Darrell because he was convinced that he was the reason that Pantera broke up, and that they've got Damage Plan. And so
I see.
I'm
I'm not really a big fan. I'm not familiar.
fantastic guitar player. But it's weird for me because the metal community, I don't really hear a lot about Pantera. I'm not sure why, but it's interesting that they're almost never brought up. Of course, they're almost always associated for me with like people who are typically white trash. That's kind of what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
They kind of turned into like that tough guy metal.
Yeah. Right.
Garbage stuff, but
they're like the Leonard
their
Skinner
earlier
to metal.
stuff's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Skinner.
Actually, Pantera was a glam metal band before.
Oh yeah,
the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
They try to cover
hate
that
glam
up,
metal.
but man, it's pretty flamboyant stuff.
That both him and his
That's
brother
some
are
of the
fantastic
worst.
musicians, no doubt about it.
Definitely.
We'll move on now to that will conclude the timeline for 2004. We will now move to the entertainment section and the top 10 movies in terms of gross for the year 2004. I will start with number 10. Number 10 was The Polar Express. Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Seen clips. It's all
Read the book.
CGI.
Right. Yep.
And everyone has like these lifeless, soulless eyes in it, so it's really oddly creepy.
Number 9 was Shark Tale. I don't even really remember that movie, but it's like a cheap play off of like the Finding Nemo like popularity. We're gonna just throw another CGI movie with fish and we'll be good. Shark Tale.
Right.
Number 8, we had Meet the Fockers, the sequel to Meet the Parents. Had some funny moments, but wasn't as good as the original. Let's see. Number 7, we have The Bourne Supremacy that came out in 2004. I like that movie. I
enjoyed the Bourne movies.
Yeah. Probably it's probably my favorite series. Like I don't know how many he's been in, but Matt Damon. I mean, he's Jason Bourne. That's
Right,
just
for
that.
sure.
There's someone else who played him. I think it was Jeremy Reiner at some point, but
Yeah, those are
um,
actually
I hear they're not bad.
based on novels too.
Yeah.
So definitely worth getting your hands on those and giving those a read.
Um, number 6 is The Day After Tomorrow with Jake Gyllenhaal, Emmy Rossum, and a couple other people.
Hmm.
Oh, what was his name? Kevin Costner. I liked that movie when I watched it. I don't know. It's an okay movie. It's not bad. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. But it's just.
I mean,
I think the only thing that was the issue that people seem to have is that even if the world weather, if it changed in such, it wouldn't create tornadoes or hurricane or whatever it was in California. It just wouldn't do
Right.
that, and it wouldn't like the freezing wouldn't take place like that, where it's just like the spreading would be
Mhm.
almost instantaneous. Go ahead, Brad.
isn't that a Roland Emmerich movie, right?
I think so. Yeah. Let me check.
Trying to look it up. I love disaster movies, and
Right.
that's right up there with the best, which
Mhm.
aren't really good, but they are very entertaining.
Right. Yeah.
I just like to see a lot of things be destroyed, I guess.
Number 5 was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The sequel, I believe,
Mhm.
to the first movie.
Hmm.
I think there's a bit of a delay there in movies, but I think they had to get a new director, and I think that might be a Christopher Columbus film. That might be like his second, or maybe I don't know.
Wait, did you say Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yeah, or is that the third movie?
That's the third one. Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
second one's the Chamber of Secrets, and
Chamber Secrets.
I think
Hmm.
Christopher Columbus did the first 2 movies, and
Oh,
then
okay.
they switched directors for Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay.
They actually switched directors like 3 times, like,
Really?
during the whole series. Yeah.
Interesting. Number 4, The Incredibles. The Incredibles came out in 2004. I saw it once.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
It was
never seen
okay.
it either.
It was okay. I mean, they're all. That's the thing with Pixar movies. They're all good, but there's nothing spectacular about them. They have nice
Right.
moments, like in the movie Up. That first 5 minutes is the whole movie. Just skip the rest of it.
Yeah.
That first
Yeah,
5
pretty much.
5 minutes is so good that they don't even
Mhm.
need to make the rest of the movie, and they do, and I just don't, I just don't care. It's just not
Yeah.
as good as the first 5 minutes, and so it's weird to start off literally at the peak of a mountain and just kind of slowly dropping down.
Mhm.
The number 3rd highest grossing movie of the year 2004, drum roll please, Passion of the Christ. Passion of the Christ.
God
never saw
damn
that.
it.
I'm pretty sure it's about Jesus. Number 2,
Passion?
yeah, there's lots of passion.
Was that Mel Gibson that directed that? Right?
That was.
God damn it. Is there a second one coming out? Is there gonna be like a trilogy?
Christ Returns. It's coming out, soon,
It'll
very
be,
soon.
Yeah.
The Revenge of the Christ. He's back and he's pissed off.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck you, pilot.
Yep, Bill Hicks.
He would
Yeah,
come back
yeah.
with an Uzi on him, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd have an Uzi.
He's back, but he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
said what kind of mood he'd be in.
Yeah. I know he's yelling something about the cross. I don't know.
Second highest grossing movie of the year 2004 was Spider-Man 2. And the highest grossing movie of the year, number 1, Shrek 2. Yeah. Shrek 2. Right.
Never seen it. Didn't really care for the first one.
Right.
No,
No.
there-
no,
I saw the first one. I think I like. Well, what year was the first one?
like 2001.
I remember seeing it and just being very underwhelmed, and then
Right.
then there was like Shrek fever going around.
Right.
Now there's like 5 of those goddamn movies.
Mhm. And there's like
Yeah.
holiday specials. and shit.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
the fuck knows
Mhm.
anymore?
My favorite part about the first movie Shrek was the song Hallelujah by He was covered by Rufus Wainwright in that movie. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
it's a great
thinking
song.
like, exactly, I never heard that song before. And I was like, wait, what is this song? It was the best part of Shrek. Something that had nothing to do with Shrek was Hallelujah.
Well, then they
Yeah,
had
right.
Now I'm a Believer covered by
Uh,
Smash Mouth.
Smash
That was
Mouth,
pretty
you know,
sweet.
All Star was
Mhm.
like the first movie, and just like it's just not very good. It's just the humor is very bland. There's some innuendos, but for the adults or whatever. But I just it's for children, and that's pretty much the gist of it. It's not a movie I go back to again. I'm like, oh my god, I can't. Shrek 2 classic. Let's watch it. No, doesn't happen.
Now
Right.
you'd have to be crazy to do
All right.
that.
Get to my personal film selections of 2004. Kill Bill Volume 2
Yeah,
came out
there
in
you go.
2004.
That's good.
This one's for you, Nick. Primer came out in 2004.
Oh yeah, I love that
Primer's
movie.
awesome.
So I've
Yeah.
never seen it, but I know Nick has. So if you wanted to talk a bit about Primer, go ahead.
Oh my God. Well, there's a lot to Primer.
Yeah, how do you even explain that movie?
Yeah, it's oh my God, very hard to explain. I'd honestly say that it's probably the most realistic when it comes to time travel movies.
Mhm.
It has the most accurate depiction of what it would actually be like, especially like on the similar timelines. Like so, like it's on like a bunch of different timelines, but they all kind of coexist together. So like it's actually I can't say too much about it without giving it away, but they ultimately it's like four guys at the beginning, and they are working on something, but they end up kind of accidentally making this time machine.
Interesting.
And then like two guys kind of fall out and two guys remain, and that's kind of the main thing. It's a B kind of style movie, like B-rated movie
Mhm.
kind of thing. Not the greatest acting. I mean, you can tell it's cheaply made, had a very low budget, but it's a fantastic story, and I've seen it maybe 5 times now. So
Yeah. Another personal selection of mine, Anchorman, just another classic. Will Ferrell at his peak in 2003, 2004. Another film, The Terminal. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen that movie. That's with Tom
Yeah.
Hanks.
Mhm.
I really like that movie.
Great movie,
and
yeah.
it's based off a
Yeah.
true story too, if I'm not mistaken, or loosely based on events that happened. Yeah, one of those. Team America, World Police, another personal selection.
Awesome movie.
The puppet scenes where they the I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's like Gary or something. But they're like, he's having sex with that female puppet, and they're just doing like every position imaginable,
right? Yeah,
just because they can get away with it because it's puppets. It's just so ridiculous.
It is.
The whole movie is just ridiculous, and the fact how long that had to have taken for the puppets, I can't imagine. So hats off to Matt and Trey there. And all the whole team working on that very funny movie, very funny, and the music. America, fuck yeah,
so great.
America, fuck yeah, yeah. Just what a accurate representation of what it was like to be in 2004.
They had the song "What Would You Do?" Like the "What would you do? You were asked to give up your life for freedom." That's a great song too.
And the analogy he gives with like what does he say, like dicks, pussies, and assholes or something like that. I can't remember, but like he goes into detail, and it actually makes sense. But it's just using those 3 words, and that's it. Yeah, that's the beginning of the movie. I liked it. Classic movie. Again, this one, The Aviator. Personal film selections of 2004.
Great movie.
Yeah. Never saw it, but I know that Nick has, and he really likes it, so I put it in there.
Yeah.
And if Nick says it's good, it's probably good.
Yeah, I mean it's a Martin Scorsese film,
right? It's hard to go
Leonardo
wrong.
DiCaprio. Is
Kate Winslet in that movie? Or am I thinking
I'm
of?
not sure.
Okay.
To look that up.
Maybe
but,
Kate Blanchett.
It's an epic, man. So like you need some time, sit down, have a few hours available.
It's like that. It's Howard Hughes, right? It's based off of Howard Hughes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just reminds me of Mr. Burns when he runs the casino and he's got the shoe boxes on his feet. So I thought of COVID. That's how we'd all be by like at the end of the year. Microscopic germs.
Yeah, they're all covered in microscopic germs.
Another personal pick of mine, Dodgeball, came out in 2004. I saw that movie in theaters immediately after my open house. Half my class, we all went and saw Dodgeball. So that movie has like a special place. But it's pretty funny. It's still funny. I still like it, even though it's stupid. Even though Ben Stiller plays the exact same character. Bill Stiller looks like a lot like Ben. Plays the same character he played in Heavyweights and a number of other movies. It's the same fucking character.
Oh my god, I love that. That's such a great character, though. I love.
I know.
He plays it so well. I think
he's entitled.
If anyone plays
play
that character well, and it's Stiller for sure.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. come on, Michelle. And he just hops on the moped, flips him off, and then he rides off. Oh, it's so fucking ridiculous. The whole movie is ridiculous. And then they used a fucking Chuck Norris at the end.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris, and I thought, well, that's because of the Chuck Norris jokes.
Right.
Then another pick of mine. This is just a personal film that I like, or not my like I made it. It's like my personal like fan favorite for sports movies. Miracle, about the 1980 USA hockey team that
yeah.
defeated Team Russia, which is essentially it's basically a bunch of college kids defeating a NHL All-Star team that have played together like every day together for like 15 years against a ragtag group of
insane.
college kids, and the college kids won. A miracle
insane.
is an accurate representation of what the fuck happened there. So
Right.
yeah. And then my last pick for the year 2004, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Oh,
there it is,
fantastic.
yeah.
Just love that movie. Love that
Yeah.
movie. My favorite Wes Anderson film. Just love it. There's some
Have you
Sigur
seen
Rós
The French
songs.
Dispatch?
Yep, I watched that movie for sure.
That's
Hell yeah.
great.
That's
I
great.
still
So good.
haven't seen it.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good. On to worst movies for 2004. We've got Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. The second.
Yeah. What's the next worst movie? Yeah. Can keep going.
Catwoman. The
Oh, the
God
Halle
damn
Berry
it.
one.
Halle Berry one. Yeah.
Oof.
The
Yeah.
funny thing, real quick though, with Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2, that's what it's titled.
Go on.
Oh my.
So,
God damn.
like, Baby Geniuses 2 is the sequel. So
Uh-huh.
Baby Geniuses is the first movie. I somehow missed that for worst movies. I don't know where the fuck that went. It
Yeah,
flew under the
where-
radar so much that it didn't
I
even,
don't-
or maybe
I
that
don't
was the year that
understand.
room.
What's
but
that? I was gonna say, was that in like maybe 99 or something?
Maybe it's possible. But
Yeah.
Baby Geniuses was the name of the movie. But the sequel is called Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. It's
Right.
like they flipped it. It doesn't make any sense. The whole movie.
I don't like
No.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping
Ugh.
we were gonna moved on from this by now.
Baby Geniuses.
Because now I have so many questions about the whole concept of Baby Geniuses. Like, I should just watch the movies, so I'm just not gonna ask.
Good
No,
luck.
I don't.
Good
think
luck.
it's,
Absolutely, you should. And come back if you can. Come
An
back.
attempt to.
You
Yeah.
might be comatose by the end.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Another movie, worst movie that came out. Another one. Taxi, with Jimmy Fallon and like Queen Latifah.
Oh, fuck off, man.
No, wait.
That
Based
is
off of
so
like,
bad.
is that based off of the 1970s TV show or?
No, unfortunately, no. It's
I've
just
never
There's
heard
no
of this movie.
vodka.
Jimmy Fallon. I think he's a taxi driver,
Makes
and
sense.
he's got to like take Queen Latifah places, and they get into wacky situations.
That
And
does sound wacky.
he breaks character every
a-
scene.
Yeah.
He looks at the
more
camera
absurd.
and laughs.
Yeah. Yep. And my last
Pretty
pick
much. Yeah.
for
Mhm.
worst movies, my last pick is You Got Served. Which is
Oh
like-
man.
Got served.
Basically,
Yeah.
these kids are trying to make it to some dance competition, and they gotta, it's just one of those. It's like any other movie like that. It's just, but
Yeah.
it's just kids dancing, telling you got served. Top 10 albums we'll move to now in terms of gross. Number 10, album of the year. Number 10, Kenny Chesney, When the Sun Goes Down. Number 10,
Oh,
top grossing
man.
album of the year. Number
Yeah.
9 was
Okay.
Sheryl Crow, the very best of Sheryl Crow. They had like 4 songs on it. Number
Huh.
8, Britney Spears, In the Zone. Number 7, Toby Keith, Shockin' Y'all.
Ooh.
Number
God damn it. So stupid.
Evanescence, Fallen, number 6. Number 5, Nora Jones, Feels Like Home. Number 4, Alicia Keys, The Diary of Alicia Keys. Number 3, Josh Groban, Closer. Number 2, Outkast, Speaker Box, The Love Below. And the number 1 top grossing album of 2004, Usher with Confessions. Usher with Confessions.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Usher had the biggest year for 2000, where he was like
Mhm.
the shit, so to speak. My
Right,
personal picks
yeah.
for 2004. I've got. It was kind of hard. They're all kind of like just rock bands that I'm like, I like a couple of their songs, except for one album.
Uh-huh.
I like every song because I listened to it nonstop. But like My Chemical Romance, Three Cheers for
Uh-huh.
Sweet Revenge came out in 2004.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
there's
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 songs on that album I like. I've not listened to the whole thing, but you know, it's good enough for me to have a personal pick. Incubus,
Sure.
A Crow Left of the Murder came out again. Number of songs on
Great,
that I
great
still like.
album.
Yeah.
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 Modest Mouse, Good News for People Who Love Bad News came out in
Yes, that's a
2004.
great one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing album. Yeah.
Yeah. The Killers, Hot Fuss came out.
Oh,
Probably
yeah,
the
yeah.
only album that I like from them, honestly. And my pick for 2004, American Idiot by Green Day. And because
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I went and saw one of my first actual concerts, if not my first concert I ever went to, was Green Day, the American Idiot tour. I think it was in 2005. So I had never even listened to the album
Right.
until I watched them play it live, and then I bought it immediately. And it went in my CD
yeah.
player, and I never took it out. And I listened to that
Oh,
front to
yeah.
back. Go ahead, Nick. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I personally think that that's Green Day's best album. I love all of the Green Day before that album. You know, listen to all those. You know, like
Mhm.
Dookie, Nimrod, Warning. You know, all that stuff. Um, this is just that album is so good that
Mhm.
I don't think that they've been able to go back to that sense. Like everything
No,
after has just been
trying to
shit,
replicate it.
shit, 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 shit. You
Mhm.
know,
I agree with that.
and
Yeah.
American Idiot was probably the
Magnum
height
opus.
of their height of their career for sure.
Mhm.
I do love though when I think it was not sure when it was, maybe around then, Billy Joe had that freak out at iHeartRadio.
Oh, it was a couple years later. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not,
that was
because he
so
mentions
great.
Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber's, not
That's
boring.
right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here.
You're all right. We'll get to Justin Bieber in time. Don't worry.
Oh God, can't
Um,
wait.
I remember hearing Jesus of Suburbia for the first time and not realizing it was one song. And I thought like they just went from one song to the next when I'm watching him in concert. And then at the end of about a little over 9 minutes, it ends. And I'm like, and I turn over to my friends and I was like, was that? And he's like, no, that was all one song. I was like, holy fuck, that's 9 minutes long. Green Day song is 9 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really, really fun to play too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Played that song in a band. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun learning that song.
Yeah.
But that song is split up into like 5 parts, so it's just like, hey, you just do one
Thing
Right.
for a little
one
bit.
section at a time. Yeah.
Yep. And then move on to the next one. Do that for a little bit. Move on to the next one. It's simple enough where you could probably pull it off. No, I thought we did okay. Could have been better, but
Yeah, I
we
mean,
did all right.
it was
We did all
just power chords.
Right.
Yeah, it is simple, but yeah, it is very fun.
right. There was that one section where I was like in 3/4 time or 4/3 or something like that. I can't remember. That's all right. I couldn't get it down with the singing and the playing at the same time. It was Dearly Beloved, I think was the name of that song, like in the middle of Jesus of Suburbia. But that's neither
Yes.
here nor there. But yeah, the American Idiot stayed in my CD player, listened to it front to back for over a year. It just never left. And I would play the entire album on my guitar in our garage, and neighbors across the street would be drinking, sitting inside their garage. There's like a handful of people there. And they would, tell me to play a song, and I'd play it, and then they'd come and give me a beer. And so I would get beers and drink beer and play music, and that was what I did. So yeah, that's my recommendation for 2004, Green Day's American Idiot. Now on to worst albums of 2004. We have Lindsay Lohan with Speak. You're going to see a lot of she had like one song released from that. It tanked. The whole album tanked and was critically panned. I cannot believe it. Lindsay Lohan seems like she'd be really good at that sort of thing, but nope, apparently not. R. Kelly and Jay-Z, Unfinished Business, another worst album of the year. R. Kelly and Jay-Z, Unfinished Business. Some businesses are left best unfinished.
Some businesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping for something like that.
Yeah. It's unfinished business. That's probably a good thing. Let's leave it that way. Jesus. I mean, what the fuck? And the next worst album is Ashley Simpson autobiography
Say audio failure.
audio failure. Ashley Simpson. I swear to God, I'm not lip syncing. Yeah, that's a autobiography by Ashley Simpson. Another just bland
Keep it to yourself.
pop punk crap. Yeah,
Keep it to yourself.
right. Another
You can
one.
make that album and just keep it.
Don't even give it out as a gift.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you know.
Do it. Just do it for yourself, man.
Another album, worst album of the year. Hilary Duff. Another one.
God damn it.
Right. Another one.
What is
Forgot
happening?
all about her.
Yeah. Self-titled debut album. And as far as I know, the only other album. She released a song with her and her sister. They covered it like an 80s pop group song. But it wasn't really a pop group. All the girls, they played, all their instruments. Can't remember the name of the fuck. I think it was I can't remember at the moment, but I'll look it up here in a second. But yeah, they basically they covered the song. It's known as one of the worst covers of all time. Because it's supposed to be like an actual like sort of like tough song, and it just comes across as so fake and just
I was gonna say this sounds intriguing.
lame as like it could possibly be from Hilary Duff and her sister. Another one, David Hasselhoff came out with an album. David Hasselhoff Sings
What?
America, worst albums of the year.
No.
So yeah, that's something.
Oh, that is so worth a listen. I have to listen to that. That I can get a good laugh out of that.
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, David Hasselhoff has been around for, he helped bring down the Berlin Wall. If you don't remember,
Single-handedly.
yeah. I just who knows what that guy can do. I just okay, so no. God damn it.
Probably not make an album very well.
No, I'm trying to think. No, it's just like I'm looking up for like songs that Hilary Duff covered, and there's apparently a lot of them. So I can't.
Oh God.
I can't even look it up. But Hilary Duff and sister.
Yeah. Well,
Hilary Duff and Haley Duff. Our Lips Are Sealed. That's the name of the fucking song. Our Lips Are Sealed.
Gotcha.
No.
They should have stayed sealed.
Yeah, I
couldn't sing, right? Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's originally by the Go-Go's. That's what I couldn't think of.
Oh, okay.
The Go-Go's did it originally in the 80s, and yeah, Our Lips Are Sealed. Not from what I'm hearing, and it's a shame they're not, because they should be. And the worst album of the year. That's not even David Hasselhoff. Isn't the worst album of the year? This is the worst album of the year. Get ready for this one. Mm-hmm. Worst album of 2004. Songs from the Crystal Cave by Steven Seagal.
No fucking way.
Yes. Steven
Seagal has an album?
Has an album.
We have to listen to this.
Steven Seagal has an album.
This is probably oh my God, this is probably gold.
Here's the thing.
Gold.
I listened to a little bit of it. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard. It's not great.
Well, that's a damn shame.
But if you're if you're expecting to hear like just the music in it isn't terrible.
Yeah.
The singing isn't bad, but it's Steven Seagal.
I was hoping
his lyrics are absurd, like Kung Fu Fighting.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I was hoping for like a William Hung sort of esque.
Right. Me too.
Hung-esque.
But yes, I still listen to it. It's still bad. Don't get me wrong. It's like I said, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard. But in terms of worst albums, I got to give it to Steven Seagal. I could give it to any of these albums would work, but my vote is Seagal. With the album Songs from the Crystal Cave.
I like the album cover. It's him with a guitar and he's holding it
holding it. Yeah.
He's holding it very I don't know. He has a very stern look on his face. So
As he does. Yeah.
Probably snapped it in half or something. Who knows?
Absolutely. Top songs of 2004. The number one song of the year was Usher, Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I can't remember how it goes. The song
dun,
Yeah.
Dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. The second top song of the year for 2004 was Usher with Burn. He had 2 songs, 1 and 2.
Oh boy.
So this Usher guy hogging the spotlight.
Especially in 2004.
Yeah.
Number 3, we had Alicia Keys, If I Ain't Got You. We have Maroon 5, This Love. That's when they came out with that.
I remember that song kind of.
Yeah. I remember when Maroon 5 came out and I was like, this band isn't terrible. This isn't bad. It's safe music, but it's not the worst thing ever. There's some like, different infusions of different styles of music in here, at least. It's not the same thing necessarily. And then it just went to shit. Just went to like it wasn't the best thing in the world, but it wasn't the worst. It came close to the worst by the next album. Outkast featuring Sleepy Brown
was all right.
Yep, exactly. The Songs for Jane. Gave promise, and instead of taking the ball and running with it, they dropped it. Outkast featuring Sleepy Brown, The Way You Move. Now I don't know who Sleepy Brown is, but this song is the one with it's the music video. There's a guy with an umbrella. I think that might be Sleepy Brown. Right. I'm not sure.
Maybe. That's a good song though. It's a very good song.
Yeah. A really fucking terrible song. Hoobastank, The Reason. Good lord.
Oh no.
Perfect person. Just, oh god.
Yep. Getting flashbacks to
that. He found a reason for me. Yeah. It's so melodramatic and just really bad. It reminds me of like anybody that was like going through like a breakup or something like that, like had that song.
Definitely.
Sure.
I just want to let you know I found a reason for me.
It just starts playing, just start weeping.
Right.
Another song came out, top song here. Hey Ya by Outkast.
Oh yeah, hell
that's
yeah.
it. That's
classic.
song.
It's a great song. It's a great song, man.
I like that version, and I like the other version with the what's that guy's name?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Obadiah.
The acoustic version. Yeah. I love that's such a great song too because it's like the lyrics in like the background. If you like read the lyrics, it's I think it's maybe like a breakup or something, or like things aren't going so well like in the relationship, but it's an upbeat song. And he actually says it in the song. He's like, y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance, because the song's upbeat, but you don't want to listen to really what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is actually pretty profound, and powerful and important.
Exactly. That's why I like the Obadiah Parker version, because there's nothing like that, and all you hear is the lyrics, and his voice and the way he sings it, the emotion that he gives makes it so good. But both songs are great. Both versions, I should say. Next, we've got Ciara featuring P.D. Pablo, Goodies. This song, I heard, God, a long time ago. I haven't heard it in a long time. I just remember there was a mutual friend of mine. You remember this guy named Jake, Penrose, as we used to, he loved the P.D. Pablo because he thought the name sounded ridiculous. For somebody like a tough rapper's name was I'm P.D. Pablo. And he just used to crack up at that. But Ciara featuring P.D. Pablo, Goodies. Something about her goodies staying in the jar. My goodies. And it's just I don't know, it's some crap.
That is awful.
Yeah,
that's he a serial killer?
Maybe, could be. I wouldn't know.
Here's another one. Taking parts of women and putting them in jars.
Oh my god.
I wish I could look up some of the lyrics, but I don't feel like it's necessary. We can just move on. Ciara, who's married to Russell Wilson, quarterback for the Denver Broncos now, featuring P.D. Pablo, Goodies. Bad song. Bad just all around. My next one I picked, and this is the name of the artist, Terror Squad featuring Fat Joe and Remy Ma. Lean Back. Terror Squad. Now I wonder how terrifying this squad is. We are the terrorists. Like, probably not.
Come on.
That lean back.
Oh,
They don't
boy.
dance. They just pull up their
Yeah.
pants and do the rock away. I lean back. I lean back. And that was it. And yep,
Oh my
that
God.
just that sold a bunch.
Awful.
Another one, we got Jaquan with Tipsy. Yeah, that one's bad too. 2004 was another shit year. PD
Yeah.
Pablo, he's back on his own without Ciara this time with his song Freak a Leak. PD Pablo, he's back again. Another this is part of the southern like crunk hip hop like phase that came up with like Lil Jon, all them with the, you know, what do you call it? To the window, to the wall song, you know, that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
that was part of that scenario. PD Pablo comes from that. Three Doors Down, Here Without You. That's another song that was
No.
yeah.
No.
And that's that same album, Three Doors Down, where they have that When I'm Gone song. I looked at the music video and it's just footage of like American soldiers and
Of
like
course.
fighter jets taking off. And I forgot that was a thing back in the day. If you don't have any ideas for your music video, just show American soldiers, and people are like, I like it because it's showing our heroes. You know, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are our
You know,
heroes.
and Love Me When I'm Gone. You
I mean,
know,
I feel like that's still going on
right?
these days.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I have a
music
theory
videos.
with all of that. Maybe we'll get to someday, but that deals with parallels between
God, Three
Vietnam
Doors
and this.
Down is fucking awful, man.
Well,
Oh
who
my
owned their
God.
CD
Just
out of everyone
thinking
here?
about, yeah, that was like second grade, elementary school. So if you're like a grown ass man listening to that
Right.
stuff, I think.
Oh God. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
bigger problems.
Something's going
Yeah,
on.
yes,
Yeah.
you definitely have a problem there.
Another song we got, Jay-Z, Dirt Off Your Shoulder. Another song by the band Lost Lonely Boys, Heaven. I remember this fucking song. It was all over the place. Guitar isn't bad. The guitar playing isn't bad, but I was so sick of it. Is just like,
right.
You know, I just don't care. It seems like it's again another song that you could play at a senior citizens home or retirement party or something like that, and a 10-year-old's birthday party. Heaven works in both. Here's another classic. Khalees, I think her name is, Milkshake. My milkshake brings all the boys to the
Oh, of
yard.
course.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
that song. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It's yeah. Then we got Snoop Dogg featuring Pharrell. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Yeah, that song. Our friend Timmy would love to do
that is a song.
Oh,
love to do that all the time. He'd know because he knew it annoyed me, and he would do it anyway. Because that's why he would do it. He would sing the song, and our friend Timmy can't sing to save his life. He sings like the harmony of everything just naturally.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't even imitate him in this
I think
regard.
in that way he's more talented than all of us.
In a way, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And he liked to play that song. The bass is pretty crazy on that. Drop it like it's hot. The guy does it. Yeah. Anyway, move on. Jet, Are You Gonna Be My Girl?
Oh God, fuck that band.
Yep. Yep. I mean, there's like ripping off AC/DC, but AC/DC I don't even really like.
God, I don't even know what that. It's like wannabe rock. I don't know. I'm getting pissed off again.
Right.
Just thinking about Jet.
There's another one, and the last one for top songs, and then I'll do my honorable mention. The last one, Five for Fighting, 100 Years. If you remember that song, it's like 15.
Oh God. Yeah, when you only got 100 years.
When you only got 100 years to live.
Okay, so that song, along with that Hoobastank song, The Reason,
right?
That was on a playlist when I worked at Burger King.
Oh God!
It was like that song, and like maybe 6 other songs just cycling through. Yeah,
was it that same Burger King that I worked at?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
They still played those fucking songs. So it never changed.
No.
It was the same shit.
Good Lord.
No, they did eventually change it.
Well, yeah, when an employee killed themselves, probably.
Well, it became Christian music, so I'm not sure what was better, I guess necessarily.
When you only got 100 years to live. I can't even get that high. I can't.
There's still time for you.
Oh my god.
It's all coming back.
God
Never
damn it.
win. He sounds like Kermit the Frog or something like
Not
that.
up in there.
When you
When you're
already got
older.
100 years. All right, we'll move on.
Please.
Honorable mention: Green Day, "Jesus of Suburbia." That's my honorable mention.
Whew.
Worst
definitely.
songs of the year
Oh
2004.
no.
We are at. I mentioned it last podcast. I got to mention it again. Toby Keith, "American Soldier."
God damn. Yeah.
I'm an American soldier.
We might as well have Toby Keith on
American.
this podcast.
Right at this point,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah. How you
Reviving his
doing,
career.
fellas?
There's an amazing amount of shit he did.
guys.
in the early 2000s.
Hey guys, I'm here. History Hersefat. Let's get this going.
And then he plays a little country ditty at the beginning.
Yeah. American.
I tell you what, if he shows up on this show, his career is taking a nosedive, and it's already at the bottom. I mean, I can't imagine.
Right.
And then
Right.
our career is
Boom,
going up to the top.
right up top.
We'll meet right in the middle.
Yeah. Play some Diamond Rio.
Oh god.
Another worst song of 2004. Eminem, "Just Lose It." This is such an annoying song
Just lose it.
where he's like, "Just lose it."
Yeah,
Go crazy.
Uh,
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'm
oh
good.
god.
I'm good on that.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I don't
Break
think
the
I've ever heard
fucking-
that.
it's
Really
a good
bad.
thing. Another one,
Awful.
D12, "My Band." These chicks don't even know your name. It's just like this whiny. Oh, it's so terrible.
yeah.
Fuck that song.
Well,
So
I,
Eminem,
honestly, I thought that was Eminem.
it's basically Eminem, but it's D12 because there's just a bunch of the people that he knows that he's like, yeah, be
So it's like a
a
super
band.
group?
Yeah, it's a super lame group. That's pretty much.
Gotcha.
Next worst song, we've got Gretchen Wilson's "Redneck Woman." Good lord. I mean, it gave like
Oh,
every
yeah. Is that the
meth head-
Christmas lights on the front porch all year
Yep.
long song?
He's like, I'm
Oh,
a redneck woman.
Yeah.
I ain't no high class broad.
High class broad, yeah.
I'm just a product of something.
I believe
say,
it.
I
I
say,
believe
hey y'all and yeehaw, and I leave
Well,
my
she's-
I'm sure.
Christmas lights on my front porch all year long, and she knows
Yeah.
the lyrics to every some redneck song or some redneck woman. I don't
Cool.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
sounds like she's a product of her environment.
Right.
That's-
Right. Yeah. Just like just like I'm a redneck woman. I ain't no high class
Oh,
broad. More into the
Jesus
vein of the
Christ.
anti-intellectualism that was rampant in the early 2000s.
Right. Yeah.
Just
Some may
with,
say is still rampant.
yeah, and it's just
It will
carried
always
over.
be rampant.
Yeah. Thank you. I blame that on the Bush presidency. Honestly, guys.
It's
I
up
do.
to y'all.
I blame that on the Bush presidency.
Oh yeah.
And my last
sure.
song for selection of worst songs of the year, Kenny Chesney featuring Uncle Cracker. He's back. "When the Sun Goes Down." Fuck
Oh
this song.
man. Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
not aware of it.
He's like, "When the sun goes down over the water, everything is better
Yeah.
when the sun goes down." It's like a Jimmy
Yeah.
Buffett.
That
Just-
sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just lame.
Yeah.
It's again,
It is very
senior citizen. It's retirement home, 10-year-old birthday party.
Yep.
TV shows. We're on to TV shows that debuted in the year 2004. Lost debuted in 2004. The
Mhm.
show Lost.
Ooh, yes, of course.
Love that show. Last
Any
season's
highlight?
a little weird, but
Yep. Highlights. I've
Yeah.
only seen like the last episode ever of Lost. That's the only one I've ever watched. So
Really?
I
You,
literally have
hmm.
no idea what the fuck was going on.
wow.
So I heard that
I don't
the
think
first-
anyone
I've
did.
I've seen they definitely had some points that were actually brought back to later on. Like you actually do find out like what the hell, why was there a polar bear? Like at the beginning of the first episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've seen the whole show.
Mhm.
I think it's a great show. I think you guys should definitely watch it if you haven't.
I've seen all of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
It was good up until a point. I believe
Yeah,
when the
I think-
writers' strike happened, it kind of took a nosedive, or they had only planned out maybe 4 or 5 seasons, but then they had to keep
Right.
it going, something like
Mhm.
that. But
Yeah, it
was
definitely
quite
got-
excellent.
Yeah, it definitely got bad later for
Mhm.
sure. and the last season was just awful, 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 awful
Yeah,
junk
the
garbage.
smoke monster, and then the man
Yeah.
in black and the man in white, and
Right.
they set off a nuclear bomb to go back in time to the 1970s.
That's how that
Some,
works.
some weird
That's
shit.
how that works. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid.
So watch everything except for the last season, and then just watch the final episode, and you're good.
Honestly, you wouldn't even know what the hell's going on in the final episode if you did that. So I would just watch until
Brandon
you're
Barrett?
sick of it.
Okay.
Watch it
You might as
until
well
it's
just watch all
not
of
fun
it.
anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean that's true because I got sick of it like with the last season, but I ended up watching all of it.
Yeah, same here,
So,
because
yeah.
I had to be,
Right,
I
it's
had
like,
to
I
get
put so much
closure
time
at
in
the
it.
end. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
TV show, another TV show that debuted, House, with Hugh Laurie.
Hate that show. I hate that fucking show.
I
Fuck
got
that
nothing
stupid
against
show.
that show.
Why do you hate
So
it?
stupid.
Stupid.
I hate it because it's like oh he's not your regular doctor. Oh no,
He's
this
got
guy
a pill
he does
addiction.
he
Ooh.
just oh boy he's addicted to the pills. He don't listen to this guy. But you know what? He doesn't even have to see the patient. He already knows what they have. It's just a fucking stupid. But no test done,
right.
nothing. He just immediately knows. And they're like, oh, well, how does you know? And then there's always the doctor that that he's going against his orders, and it's just so fucking stupid. That
And
whole
it's
show sucks.
the bickering back and forth. You're
Yeah,
gonna
the
lose your
bickering,
license,
yeah.
Doc. You're gonna
Yeah,
lose your
yeah.
license. House.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh god,
Yeah.
it's just like like the Good Doctor.
Right.
Stupid
And he's
shows like
walking with a
that.
cane. So yeah. all that
Right.
shit. Yeah.
Fuck off. I mean,
All right. Another
You
show
get
that another show that
Go back to
debuted in
medical school,
2004.
quack.
Yeah. Quack. It always seemed like that in the one episode of or a couple episodes, I should say, but the one episode of The House that I remember watching, it was this back and forth of we can't figure out what's wrong with this woman. We can't figure out what's wrong with this woman. And then at the last 10 minutes of the show, something clicks in the doctor's head and he immediately figures it out and saves a woman's life. And I got to feel like that happens every episode. I
Yeah,
kind of
every
figure
I was
episode,
about to-
yeah.
I was
I was about to
this guy,
say, I was like, this is every episode.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say this. I guarantee you this is every episode, so that's why I just watched it. And I was like, I got what that show's about. But
Right.
Entourage debuted in 2004. I never watched it, but I've
Nope.
heard good things. Desperate Housewives also debuted in 2004. I've never had any remote interest in watching that show. The Apprentice debuted in 2004. So we gave
You're fired.
we get Donald Trump a platform to, on was it like Thursday nights on
Yeah.
NBC. There's no way that
Yeah.
backfires. There's no way. The worst that could happen is that he gets fired himself, right? There's no way anything bad happens from that. Nope.
Nope.
Ramsey's Kitchen
Was never
Nightmares.
heard from again.
Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen
debuted.
Nightmares.
Yeah,
Love
Kitchen
that.
Nightmares is good. Yeah,
It's
such a
also
great show.
it's very
formulaic.
good.
Also, because I'm like, I know there's
It
the
is,
one
yeah.
episode where the couple and Ramsey just clash so much he walks out. That couple then later
Yeah.
on went on Dr. Phil. But
Oh, fuck off.
like
man.
I've
That's
seen
stupid.
so many episodes where it's like, like the family looks like they're in dire straits and there's just no way. And then and Ramsey sits them all down. They have a heart to heart. All of a sudden they make up for 20 years of abuse and they're good to go. And now they're the best. And it's like that every time. Like this guy's
Right.
not just a chef. He's a what is it? A
Fucking
counselor,
psychiatrist.
He's just everything.
Psychologist, actually.
Where does he get the time?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just.
Yeah.
But having said all that, it's still an entertaining show. I love when he freaks out and he's like, "Oh God, that's awful. What is this? This is
Yeah.
doughy. Look at this
I
grease."
think that's the most entertaining part is when Ramsey takes a look at the kitchen and eats the
Yes,
food.
I agree.
Those
Yep.
are the
Yep.
parts I watch the show for because
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the owners or any of the people. or
yeah.
how it's all
don't
fixed
give
up
a
at
shit
the
about-
end. I don't care about it. I want to see
Yeah,
a
right.
disgusting kitchen
Right,
with like 10 years of
exactly.
grease on the wall.
I want to see Ramsey eating garbage food.
Yeah, I
made
wanna
in
see-
I want
wanna
to
see
see
it-
Ramsey bitching about a disgusting kitchen for
Yep,
sure. That's so
exactly.
entertaining.
God, I feel kind of bad for him because some of that food is like, holy fuck, you ate that?
That could have
uh,
died for
yeah.
sure. Had horrible food poisoning.
Like there's like chicken like that's like molded in some pan thrown
That's why he
under.
spits it out. I mean,
Yeah.
he knows. He's like, nope.
Nope.
If I swallow this, that's Not good.
Another show that debuted in 2004. We got Laguna Beach. It's one of those MTV shows that it's like kind of like the OC, but like a reality show where you just follow these rich kids around while they seemingly never have a job or any responsibilities, drive the nicest, newest
Mm.
cars, and complain about their lives. And
Right.
kids ate it up.
Mhm.
I thought it was a pretty terrible show. Another show that
Oh,
debuted
for
in
sure.
2004, Pimp My Ride. And I think it'd be kind of cool to have my car pimped, so to speak, but at the same time, I don't want all that extra stuff. I'd just rather have a car than not just pimp my ride, get my ride to get from point A to point B safely. That's what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
that's all
Yeah.
I really want.
That's I don't give a shit about
Yeah.
pimping
Like
it
I
out.
don't need a
I-
I
Fix
don't
my
need a
brakes.
couch in my car or a refrigerator or fix my brakes. Yeah.
You know, my exhaust, something like that.
I remember an episode where they made this minivan into like this really cool designs and stuff like that, interior exterior designs, really cool stuff actually. But it's funny thinking about it now because they put a PlayStation 2 in there, and like it was it was like a big deal, you know. But it's so fucking today. It's like, who gives a shit? A PlayStation 2? Like, what? Where's
You got to plug in with all these wires,
Where's my PlayStation 5?
right?
It's like, well, why not upgrade? Well, I can't get it out of there. It's built into the van.
It actually runs the whole van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Van
You know,
goes
that
like 5
van's
miles
just
an
like-
hour, but it plays the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. That's in a junkyard at this point. I mean, that's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Like that show. All right, we will move on to top TV shows of 2004. Number 1, Sopranos. Number 2 was House,
Mm.
The Wire, The Shield,
Oh yeah.
and NYPD Blue, as it was entering its last years.
Okay.
Worst TV shows. We talked about it last podcast. The Swan, which is the name of the show where the female contestants go before panels, judges, whatever it is, and they talk and discuss fixing her up so she goes from an ugly
Oh,
duckling
no.
to the swan.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
That's
deplorable.
awful.
Yeah.
Yep, just really bad. And after like a month or two of this plastic surgery and all this stuff, they put her in front of a mirror so she can feel like a real human being and is celebrated for, you know, all this shit. So I mean, that only lasted
Man, I'm glad we
one
don't do that
season.
shit anymore.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Swan. Then there was the $25 million hoax. This show was apparently, I mean, it didn't last long. It was on Fox, I believe, yeah, where a woman is, well, she's in on this, so she wins, quote unquote, wins $25 million, and she tells her family that she's won all this money, even though she hasn't, and she's got to convince her family that she's gone from a normal person to a snob. And if she does convince her family of this, then she gets the money, you know, that she has to be
It's just
convincing.
really stupid.
And that, yeah,
Huh.
that got greenlit and made it to TV. Like anybody can make a show. Anybody can.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a bad idea, and so many
It's
holes
awful.
there. And just like, why are you doing
Yeah.
this? You just want to make your family. You don't need to think that you got $25 million. You can just be an asshole, and they'll probably come to that conclusion. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. So the idea then is that, you know, I actually don't have this money, but they're going to think that I do. So I'm going to be a bitch. And then when they realize that, you know, they think I'm a bitch and I do it, and then I actually get the money, and then I won't be a bitch, you know, or maybe I will be a bitch, and then it really will be true. But the worst TV show of the 2004 was Britney and Kevin Chaotic, which is the cameras following Britney Spears and Kevin Federline around with their whirlwind romance. Horrible, just shit. Canceled after 1 year. Nobody gave a shit. Yeah,
1 year's
Yeah.
long enough. Jesus.
1 year too many.
Too long. 1 year too many.
mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have watched that if it was about her first marriage, because it's 55 hours at most. You know, that's it. You know,
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
We all move on now to video games released in 2004, and 2004 was an incredible year for video games. Incredible year. So many classics, so many games that influence people and games today came out in 2004. I don't know what it was about this year, but there are a number of games that are instant classics, well received when they were released and still will liked to this day. And I'm going to start off with the first one is Half-Life 2 was released on November 16th for the PC. Now you talk about, really moving the what do you call that, like first person shooter forward or something along those
Yeah.
lines. Yeah,
Oh,
Half-Life
man.
2
Mhm.
really did
Yeah,
that.
that game had
People-
everything.
everything.
Graphics, man, were so ahead of its time then. I was amazed by that game when that came out. For sure.
Brad, you've played Half-Life 2, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. I think I've played through it twice, probably. Yeah, it's just I don't know what
Yeah.
really could be said about that game. It's
Yeah.
absolutely top tier.
Absolutely.
that's
yeah.
one. Another game that came out in 2004, GTA San Andreas, came out October 26th,
Oh,
PS2.
yeah.
Again, that was the first GTA that allowed you to use 2 players. I remember playing with Timmy,
Mhm.
and we just
Mhm.
drive around San Andreas. Like, it was so much fun. It was you had to eat food, or you lost weight, and you were too skinny, or if you ate too much food, you
Right.
got too fat. There were
Mhm.
so
And you
many
go to the
little
gym.
things in the game. Got to go to the gym.
Yeah, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
so
yeah.
many little things in that game that people have used in future games. I think out
Oh
of
yeah,
the
you could swim in this one
you could
too.
swim, you could do all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
And
it
had
just
the whole countryside, like
Yep.
an expansive like countryside and
Mhm.
like a desert
Yeah.
area. Like the map
Yep.
was huge.
yep,
Right.
just
Like basically a different biome in a sense.
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
It
incredible
was
game.
great.
Incredible game.
Yeah.
Another release for the Xbox, Halo 2 came out on November 9th.
Yeah.
Halo 2. I played the shit out of that
Yeah.
game. I played Halo 3 even more, but Halo 2 was my very first, really, I enjoyed it a lot. Online multiplayer experience, first person shooter. Halo 2 was the game for me. And I was so
Mhm.
bad at it. My friend Tim and I, we could only shoot our own teammates because they weren't suspecting it. So that's the only way we'd get any shots.
Good
in.
strategy.
We got booted from countless
Yeah.
games, as we should have.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
Halo 2, just loved playing it. It was one of my favorite games ever.
Mhm.
Another one that came out for the for the Xbox and the PlayStation 2 was Burnout 3 Takedown. I never played any of the games, but I've heard lots of good things about them. And this one was very highly rated in the 90s percentage overall score. So Burnout 3. Another one for the PC, Unreal Tournament was released on March 16th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Unreal
remember that
Tournament.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I mean,
2004.
yeah, man.
Yeah. I was a huge fan of that game. I love that game. I remember eating countless bowls of Lucky Charms and just sitting in front of the computer playing Unreal Tournament 2004.
Because you thought it would
The
make
Fleck.
you more lucky?
I don't know. I
Ooh.
just got addicted to it, I guess.
Oh,
The
okay.
Fleck,
The
I ate like a
sugar,
whole
yeah.
box in one night. Yeah, I think it was pretty rough, but
Who ate me Lucky Charms? So
the
good.
flak cannon was my absolute favorite gun in that game. I just loved the flak cannon.
Yeah.
I don't think I played Unreal Tournament until we got a Dreamcast, and I believe it was for that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was
And
great.
now, one of the biggest games ever created, one of the longest running games ever,
Hmm.
Countless influences to this day.
Mhm.
On November 23rd, 2004, for the PC, World of Warcraft is released.
Oh yeah.
Nick, the floor is yours,
Yeah.
Never
sir.
heard of it.
So, never heard
I
of
would
it.
like to say my bit about it real
Oh,
quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think
yeah.
I bought it, played it for a couple months, said some stupid shit to people, and then just never played it again. That's all I got.
I got to level 46 or something like that. I had everyone running me through dungeons because they were all max level and I was trying to get into it. My character's name was Hasselhoff. I remember that. And I was an undead rogue.
Yep.
I
I
enjoyed
was
it.
an undead rogue.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But I was just the level differences. I wasn't able to enjoy it the way they were able to enjoy it because I
The way
wasn't
you're supposed
level,
to enjoy
right.
it.
Nick, floor is
'Cause-
yours, sir.
yeah, 'cause so I had to start out just saying that like during this time that the game came out, I was actually currently playing Final Fantasy 11 online.
Mhm.
So I was really into that at the time on PC, and I remember Esteban coming over and showing us the game. And I remember my first character was like a Tauren Hunter that he created, just through me saying, "Hey, I want this. I want to be this class. I want to be that race."
Yeah.
And I just didn't really. I mean, I thought it was cool. I thought it was all right, but I really didn't think it was going to be as good as Final Fantasy 11. I was really into that at the time. So eventually, I made the transition over to WoW, and I mean, I never went back to Final Fantasy 11. I think I started playing WoW 2005, mid 2005, late 2005, something like that. But honestly, I'm still a subscriber today, so it's I've been a lifelong fan in a way.
Mm.
Um,
How
yeah,
old were you
that
when you started playing it?
oh man, 2000. I was like 14.
14. Okay.
I want to say I was 14. Um, but yeah, it was unlike any MMO I had ever played, because by that time I'd played obviously Final Fantasy. I've played EverQuest 2. I played like the Star Wars. There's a Star Wars game that came out around that time too. That was a MMO as well. Um, but yeah, World of Warcraft just was the best game that I had MMORPG that I had played at that time, and I just got super addicted, super into it. I remember missing, like, not going hanging out with friends just to stay in to play the game. And many moments like that. I remember staying up too late, and then having to being dragged to church the next day, literally not having gone to sleep and falling asleep in like the pew,
Nice.
and just seeing World of Warcraft in my mind every time I'm falling asleep. But
the
man,
Horde. Like, what the
yeah,
hell?
unfortunately, unfortunately, World of Warcraft has also done things negative. I had things negative, in my
Yeah.
life. Like
Sure.
my like addiction to like sugar in a way got worse because soda was so easily accessible. You just
Right.
open one up,
Yeah.
instead of just grabbing a water or something, I grabbed that, and then I just got really into that. So I mean, like, there's some unhealthy lifestyles and habits that come out of WoW. But I mean, overall, it's been such a great experience with gaming, and it's made me a better gamer in general.
Mm.
But like I said, I still play it even today because they actually brought the original version that they had in 2004 back to be playable now for the players, and which was released in like WoW Classic, and then they did the expansion of and so on and so forth. And speaking of WoW, just one last thing I want to add in there. They have a new expansion coming out called Dragonflight that is very promising. Um, it might actually bring a lot of players back, and I hope it does. And also, Blizzard has been purchased by Microsoft, so I hope that Microsoft is able to do some positive things with the game as well. I'd like it to live on because it's been such a huge part of my life. And yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, I heard. What's
Yeah.
it called again? Dragon Song, is it?
Dragonflight, yeah.
Dragonflight. Dragonflight. I saw. Asmongold was talking about it, and it was very promising. They
Oh yeah.
actually listened to the feedback and made
Yep.
changes. Um,
Yep.
so they're doing that now, which is good. About time. So I
Yep.
remember
It's
a lot of
about,
people
yeah, no kidding.
people are talking
Yeah.
about that. They just don't care. They just
Mhm.
release whatever. They'll just release whatever because they know people will buy it. Well, eventually
Yep.
that doesn't work. So
Yep.
hopefully everything is on the up and up. And yes, with the acquisition of Blizzard by Microsoft, hopefully they will steer that company in the right direction. And yeah, things maybe
For sure.
World of Warcraft isn't done yet. Maybe it has a rebound. America loves a rebound story, a comeback story.
Oh
So
yes.
this could be
Oh,
this.
yeah.
This could be that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, November 23rd. Moving on now for the PC, The Sims 2 was released on September 14th. For the GameCube, Pikmin 2 on April 29th. On November 1st, 2004, for the PC, Counter-Strike is released. Counter-Strike
Oh, yeah.
Source. So yeah, I mean that's Half-Life 2 GTA, Halo 2, Unreal Tournament, World of Warcraft, Counter-Strike in 1 year,
Mhm.
and almost a number of, in like 2 months, 2-3 months within like of each other. It's crazy. PS2, November 17th, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. On December 28th, Gran Turismo 4 for the PS2 is released. And on August 3rd, Doom 3 is Doom 3
Doom
is
third.
Doom
August
the
3rd.
Third.
Doom the 3rd is released on the PC. Doom 3, August 3rd. An amazing year for video games.
Yeah.
Helped lay the foundations and whatnot for years to come. So many of these games are still played today, and still adored, as they should be. Now on to worst video game of 2004. And I did some digging. I had a couple choices. There was a Bad Boys, taking over Miami or whatever game. There was a couple of different games like that that weren't great mechanically and stuff, but they didn't quite necessarily do it for me. They didn't put me over that. I'm going to mention this game. And then I saw this game and I was like, holy fuck, that's it. That's the game. So the worst game for 2004 I have chosen is called The Guy Game. It was released on the Xbox and the PlayStation 2 on August 31st, 2004. Now, The Guy Game was a trivia game show supporting up to 4 players. It consisted of about 1,000 questions spread out over 20 episodes. Much of the game involves watching live action video footage of young women in bikinis. As the player succeeds in the game,
Jesus
the women
Christ.
eventually expose their breasts. After every question, there is video footage
This is so...
shot during spring break festivities on South Padre Island of host Matt Sadler giving the same question to young females in bikinis, referred to as quote unquote hotties. If they answer incorrectly, they are required to show their breasts. Before they give their answers, the footage is paused and the player is asked to guess whether the hotties answered correctly or not. In the titwits portions of the game, the player is told that they were wrong. The girl was wrong, and asked to guess what wrong answer that girl gave. The more times the player is able to correctly predict the outcome, the higher the flash-o-meter, with levels based on the
I hate
erectile
this so much.
processes, and
stupid.
the more exposed the breasts become. At first, the breasts are covered or obscured by a Guy Game logo, which is the soft and squishy level, and then just digitally blurred, which is the sort of chubby level, and finally fully uncensored, the super stiff level, maxed out meter.
Super stiff.
Once the player reaches the uncensored level, aka super stiff, the episode can be played again with no visual censorship. As the game progresses, the players are ranked as president, vice president, treasurer, or asshole. That's, natural progression there. Also included are the balls with a Z mini games, which can give players extra points during an episode. Before the game, each player chooses a female avatar called cheerleaders to represent them, based on how often the player correctly guesses the outcome of each hottie's response. The more clothes the cheerleader removes. At the end of the episode, a short video montage is shown of the cheerleader belonging to the player who reached the rank of president. Many other rules can be enabled, mostly inspired by drinking games. The game garnered much controversy and was the subject of a lawsuit. 4 months after the game's release, a lawsuit was brought up against Top Heavy Studios. A woman explained that she was not informed the footage would be used to promote the video game. At the time the footage was recorded, the woman was only 17 years old, making her underage, thus making the Guy Game illegal to own or sell in some countries. A temporary injunction was granted prohibiting the further production of copies of the game that contain the girl's image, voice, and name. The Guy Game received generally unfavorable reviews across all 3 platforms, with the Xbox version holding a Metacritic score of 47 out of 100. Now think about that. 47 out of 100. Big Rig's got 8. This game gets 47. Right. On 20 critic reviews. PlayStation 2 version holding a score of 48 out of 100 based on 20 reviews. and the Microsoft Windows version holding a score of 23 out of 100 based on 2 reviews. Conversely, IGN gave the game a 7.7 out of 10, stating, "It may be tasteless, but I prefer this kind of tastelessness over BMX XXX." The reviewer also noted the game was solid, simple, and fun. And that was the worst video game of 2004, which is interesting. That game clearly it's just a shitty game, and every gets almost 50%, almost halfway, there in terms of ratings when Big
Well,
Rigs yeah.
Well, it sounds like this game, it at least works as
That's true.
intended,
That's true.
as opposed to Big Rigs, which is just a broken mess.
But yeah, I like the IGN gave it a 7.7 out of 10. Like, what the fuck? That's ridiculous. Yeah, I just I couldn't believe it when I started reading, like, what is this game? The Guy game? Oh my god. And then I found, one of the girls was 17, and I was like, fucking hell. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that will do it for 2004, and I will move into final thoughts. The year of 2004 started with a scream, a noise that would indicate the death rattle of a presidential campaign. Like the previous 2 years before it, 2004 was a year filled with fear. As the presidential election neared, the threat of terrorism seemed to be at its peak, almost as if the two went hand in hand. We lost a number of entertainers, comedians, and former president that year. However, the breakup of Creed was undoubtedly felt the most, a dull ache, one that still lingers to this day. From wardrobe malfunctions, lip-syncing performances, and whirlwind Las Vegas romances, the year of 2004 left us plenty of memorable moments to discuss on Facebook. Well, at least at Harvard. When we learned the Dave Matthews Band dropped 800 pounds of shit on the unsuspecting public, we all assumed it was their new album. 04 brought us new social platforms, sequels to classic live action and animated films, and some of the biggest games ever created, ones that still influence to this day. By the end of the year, America would be faced with the reality that it had 4 more years of the Bush administration. But surely the worst was behind us, right? And with that, I hope you enjoyed our conversation and will join us again for another installment of History with Hersaphat. Don't forget to hydrate, exercise, and to like and subscribe to the podcast. All these things are essential to your health and well-being. Take care of yourselves and each other.